Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is Transfers Live. My name is Joe and that is Joe as well.
Yeah, aye guys, ready for this.
You didn't seem quite ready when I threw
I
it
am
to
ready
you.
for it.
Massive news today.
Unbelievable.
Massive news. Man United have made a €90 million bid for Antony. We'll be giving all of the details on that in just a minute. Mike Verwij, once again, proving how important he is in Dutch. He's like the Dutch know-it-all, isn't he?
Is he? Yeah.
He seems like he's the one where it's like, oh, if Verwij hadn't said it, has it even happened?
But, yeah, we're taking his word for it.
Well, yeah.
I suppose he's been right in the past.
Yes.
But, it could be one of those things like, he could be playing with us, with our emotions. We need a new attacker. He knows.
Yeah, but journalists don't really do that, do they?
90 million.
They try not to, anyway.
Yeah,
we'll also be talking about Gakpo, the latest on that. He's playing against Rangers right now, I believe.
Right now.
And
Has
that
he
game
scored?
is meant to...
No.
Has Gakpo scored, anyone? No.
Never mind.
That's meant to be deciding whether and when he joins Manchester United and for how much, depending on whether they get into the Champions League or not.
Yeah.
Ten Hag?
That's Ten Hag there.
Perfect stuff. Right, let's start with Antony. I think we just need to get straight into this.
Yeah, cool. It's the biggest news of the day.
Yeah, it is, and it's very recent as well. Mike Verwij on Twitter saying that Manchester United have placed an offer of above €90 million for Antony. The player wants to make the move within the next 48 hours and has asked his club to cooperate. Basically, he's handed in a transfer request.
Yeah.
He's saying, you need to get me sold here. This is massive, isn't it? €90 million is massive for, just size-wise as well.
You know my problem with the €90 million, and it's been my problem since, we splash cash on a lot of big players that don't come out really well on the other side, is does the added price of Antony put pressure on him that a player might not need when they are settling into the Premier League? If he turns up for a £90 million fee, the papers are going to be all over him. Fans and other clubs are going to be all over him. They're going to be calling for him when he makes mistakes. Look at Beppe at Arsenal, by the way. 70 million.
You mean Bepe's from EastEnders? You mean Pepe?
Pepe. Sorry.
Bepe's an early 2000s EastEnders character.
Sorry.
Not him. Pepe the winger.
Pepe the winger.
The
I'm
one.
so sorry. 70 million quid.
I know.
And then all fans talk about is he's a failure, he's done this, he's done that. Now, I'm not saying this is going to happen, but they've got to know, United have got to know, Antony's got to know, if he comes for that amount of cash, there is going to be that layer of pressure above him. I hope he can just find his rhythm straight away, settle in if he does come for €90 million, and then we get into it, because we need more attackers.
Yeah, we do.
Attackers.
James Woods in the comments, 90 million, good Lord have mercy. Brian says we spent 80 on Maguire, 90 for Antony is nothing. That's suggesting
that's two ways of looking at it, isn't it?
Yeah, because like you said, to your point, I think if Maguire had cost 40 million, he wouldn't have had the same dips in form that were sort of exacerbated by this mounting pressure due to his price tag. And he'd probably be a sort of steady player for United at the moment. But instead, that 80 million price, I think the same with Paul Pogba, a man who
he's
got
situation.
The reputation to sort of stand up to that £89 million price tag. But I do genuinely think it contributed to his poor consistency at United.
Also looking at, say, someone like Neymar, but when he goes to France, he was the star in the French league. It isn't like the Premier League.
No.
Like, it's a tough league to adapt to, but if you can adapt to it, you become an unbelievable player. For you, we sign him. What would you say is his role at United? Straight away, is he going in? We can't be paying €90 million for someone to sit on the bench.
I know, that's the mad thing, isn't it? Because, so is he replacing A, £73 million Jadon Sancho, B...
No, he's been on fire so far.
B, 500 grand a week Cristiano Ronaldo, or C, Marcus Rashford.
What about D? Oh no, he can't play in the middle.
No. That's the thing. Yeah, I agree. You're not paying €90 million for him to sit on the bench, but that again, it puts the pressure on for you to be hitting the ground running week one. It's a massive price tag that.
Yeah.
And generally, I'm of the perspective of, like, if we don't spend it, the Glazers are just going to take out in dividends. Like, I would rather we spent money on transfers than on anything else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, obviously, the club needs the stadium needs redoing. We need X, Y, and Z to the training ground. All of these things that could be, we could be spending money on. The thing is, even if we don't spend 90 million on Antony, they aren't going to spend 600 million on Old Trafford. So I think, whilst the money's there, let's spend it on players. And if it's the players the manager wants, I would say go out and get it. We've got a super chat from James Woods. It says, lads, are we in for a rate of a signing per day? Are we in for a rate of a signing per day until the end of the window? Or will Antony and Gakpo be the last one? Hashtag sloppy joes. A signing a day? Wait, so the transfer window ends, let me just check my phone.
It's like a big Craig Davies song, that, isn't it?
Next Thursday. That's 8 days away.
Well,
I think we might be in for a signing every 3 days.
I think we're going to sign 2 players minimum, 3 players max.
Oh, very narrow parameters
I
there.
think we're getting 2 to 3 players in. I
Two
don't
men.
think a signing a day would be 7. 7 players.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I'd love to know just a general thought of the United fans. Is Antony for $90 million good or not?
Yeah.
What is it? Because I can't see. I have glasses for driving, not that you care, and the comments are too far away.
Yeah.
What is
so
it?
I'll be driving the chat tonight.
Hey!
You know what I mean?
Bit of a laugh there.
Driving people mad, eh? What you like.
We're good for it.
Massive money. Do you like the fact that he's basically said, I'm not playing?
He wants to play for United.
Because he's not played their last 2 matches, has he?
Yeah. He's thrown his toys at the pram a little bit. Maybe we don't need players with that kind of attitude. You can look at it in 2 ways. Or maybe he's not enjoying the time at Ajax. He's not enjoying playing under the new manager, because that's obviously they've got it. They've got a new manager. And maybe he misses Ten Hag's way. Maybe Ten Hag taught him how to be such a great attacker that he's missing those lessons. And he wants to go back to his teacher, who's taught him how to be up there with one of the best attacking options at Ajax. And he's seeing the likes of, Sancho there, working with Ronaldo for the rest of the season. A team with spirit. He sees the Premier League as the best league in the world. And I bet he'll get a good contract.
It's always worth
Cash
mentioning
in
that,
it.
isn't it?
Got a bit of cash there.
Interestingly enough, Fabrizio Romano, when's this from?
1 minute ago.
1 minute
1 minute ago.
He's come
Hot
out
off the press.
almost sort of countering this
You're joking.
for Y News, saying that Manchester United have not submitted a new official bid for Antony yet. It will be sent to Ajax soon, matter of time. He's considered internally by the board and Ten Hag as the main priority over any other target. Antony has asked Ajax to leave and only wants to join Manchester United.
It just fascinates me, the details that we don't know as fans. So one of the things that gets me is, what do we do when we submit a bid?
Yeah.
Is it an email? Is it an official document that says, here's the player I want, here's how much? We just don't know. If anyone knows, or
I wonder if it's just like a little text. I mean, just a WhatsApp group.
Voice note. Yeah, mate.
I reckon
Let's do 90.
I reckon there's a big director of football WhatsApp group.
Do you think?
That's got all the big boys in it and they're just spamming. I bet it's an absolute nightmare when it's outside of the transfer window.
Filthy stuff.
Yeah, awful stuff. John Murtaugh sending lewd memes. He's like, sending this, and then someone texts me saying, aren't you in Barcelona trying to have a meeting with De Jong's representatives? Like, yeah, I've gone for a shit. Look at this picture of my balls. Stuff like that. Yeah, I think
Miters.
Not testicles. Jesus Christ.
They're too hairy.
Absolutely not. Max Ketley with a super chat, who's been a member for 20 months
Get
as well.
out.
Cheers, mate.
No.
No, not a festival now. If Rangers knock out PSV of the Champions League tonight, which is looking likely, then we can probably get Gakpo for a third of the price that Antony would be, and I feel it would be worth it. Here's my point on that, and I'll throw it over to you afterwards.
I'll catch it.
I would rather have a player that is 1.5 times as good for 3 times the price.
Man, is this maths?
You struggling?
1.5. Yeah.
Okay, no, let me rephrase it. I would rather have a player that is slightly better for 3 times the cost because what Man United needs is better players, not to save money.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying, I don't know that he is better. I mean, what we can clearly see is that it's Ten Hag's priority. I would rather have that player than someone that is deemed to be not as good but is cheaper. United don't need to save money. We need to improve as a team. Your thoughts?
No, I completely agree. The quality is what we need at the minute in time. I know people can get bargains, and there is bargains out there, but sometimes we've fallen for that in the past. We need the players that actually fit Man United's way or Ten Hag's way, so to speak. Go and spend a bit more. Don't be tight.
Yeah. There's a weird update that's just come in here on the screen.
What are you talking
News
about?
on Dubravka when you want it. Who's this from? Where's this coming from? Dharma Sheth from Sky.
These are all made up names.
You know Dharma, he's been on the channel. Man United have held talks with Newcastle over the signing of goalkeeper Martin Dubravka. He's open to the move. Luckily for us, we actually have a Newcastle expert in the building. So if Ethan James, you want to just come around here, please?
Come on,
leave it
on wide.
It's your chance to tell us about Dubravka because I've not really seen him play. So you're going to talk into my neck and tell us. Get in here. You're a Newcastle fan.
Him.
You're a big expert.
Super chat.
How good is Dubravka?
He's a really good goalkeeper, probably
the best second choice goalkeeper in the league at the minute. He makes a mistake every now and then, which lets him down, but really good shot stopper.
Do you think he'd be good enough to be a backup to De Gea, or maybe even replace him?
I think he could definitely compete with De Gea. He's better than the Begovic or whoever others you've been linked
Final
with.
question, how does Joe smell?
No, see you later.
No, smell your neck. Go on and smell your
He
neck.
doesn't smell great today.
Really?
Yeah,
Bad day?
Yeah, bad day. Interesting. Odd choice to me, that. Because what Ethan didn't say there was anything about ball playing ability, about claiming his crosses, conquering his box, as they say, if you'll pardon the expression.
You just got to conquer that box.
I just think that that's very much a lateral move to Tom Heaton.
It is conquer season soon as well.
Yeah, the horse chestnut's ripening as we speak. Yeah, Dubravka. We haven't even got a graphic for Dubravka.
Get him on, get a picture of him.
No, we don't need that. We're not talking about him for much longer. James Woods with the super chat says, at Sloppy Joe's, after McCullough and De Jong, after McCullough said De Jong might still be on, pants off time at our midfield if he comes. Thoughts? Everyone needs to watch Sloppy Joe's excellent content, and that's James Woods' words.
He's done as well there.
Do you think that if De Jong happened, how excited would you be?
Very excited.
Yeah.
Very excited. Is De Jong going to happen though? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Listen, are they going to splash the cash, that amount of money on two midfielders? Even though we've needed them for so long, we deserve that amount of money to be spent on our midfield. But do I see it happening in one transfer window? Yeah. Maybe not. Let's see. I could see something happening like a rocky patch for Barcelona in La Liga. Even more cash problems, even more upset and unrest with De Jong, and maybe swooping him in January. Yeah. But to squeeze it over the line from now to the end of the transfer window, don't know.
It doesn't seem likely, does it? Miles says, I heard that Joe Smith is just 3 baggers in a denim jacket. That's true. If I take this top off, there's just 3 little baggers all stacked up. Interesting.
Is there?
Yeah, Toasted HD says, we're considering going in for Memphis. Thoughts? I haven't seen that from anyone particularly reliable.
Never go back to your ex.
That would be a bad idea. Couldn't agree more with that.
Never go back to your ex.
Yeah, I don't see why that would work this time around. I don't think he's improved enough as a player for him to now all of a sudden be.
And how much would he cost?
Probably, yeah.
About 50?
Hopefully less.
40?
I don't know, yeah. It's not going to be cheap, is
it?
Right, I think. Apparently David Ornstein's just tweeted. It's kicking off tonight.
What's happened
here? Everyone knows what David
Ornstein's
tweeted. If it's anything to do with Manchester United.
Apparently.
Everyone's saying Ornstein in the chat. What's going on?
Why is this happening now? I can't take it. Memphis. Have you seen the Elvis film though? Great film.
No, I haven't seen it. Talking about Memphis. We'll get the latest on what David Ornstein said. If it's even anything remotely to do with Manchester United, boss says stop shouting. Good point. Gakpo.
Sorry.
Let's talk about Cody Gakpo. Am I going to get this Ornstein thing up then? Everyone's shouting, running in the background.
Gakpo.
What's going on? Just bring it to me if it's that good.
Gakpo.
What is it? Is this David Ornstein? Yeah. Pass that to Joe.
No, I don't want to know.
No, you do want to know. Sorry. I'll read it. David Ornstein has tweeted, Gakpo. Manchester United confident of reaching an agreement with Ajax to sign Antony, 22-year-old Brazil international winger, now main recruitment focus for Manchester United, pursuit of PSV Eindhoven attacker Cody Gakpo, believed to have cooled somewhat. This is massive. Absolutely massive. Manchester United confident of agreeing, of reaching an agreement with Ajax to sign Antony. That is big. We're signing Antony. It's going to happen now, isn't it?
Do you know how big it is? We went away from him and he's come back.
Look how big it is.
He's come back.
It's almost like we need a new graphic, but it's probably too late for that now.
We're days away then, moments away from maybe getting the tick. Here's the thing with Ajax though.
I'm so excited.
You've got to look at it from a point of view of Ajax. We have absolutely rinsed them over the last 6 months.
You've got a good manager, haven't you?
To done it.
Yoink!
Oh, that fucking mint defender.
Yeah,
love him.
Player of the year. Cheers.
Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Is that your phone? I've gone, my head's gone. A couple of games into their season, we'll take one of your best wingers.
Yeah.
I suppose we are paying them for
people asking if you're pissed.
No, this is what happens around this time at night. And people always get this wrong.
Yeah.
I'm into a point of my, I'm into a crazy point. And you know I'm not drunk because we've had a Nando's, we've chilled out, been driving. But no, I'm into what's called like the midnight hour. I lose my head. It's what I'm like at home. I need a Horlicks and Super chat. I need a Horlicks and I need a hot water ball.
Love that. It's a duck with a super chat says, I agree with Joe. I'd rather overpay if it improves the squad. The only I see is the price tag is that it will be used to hammer him at every opportunity. Is he mentally up for that? I think we should stay with Antony. We'll come back to Antony in just a minute, actually. But before that, let's hear from Adam McCullough, who's been talking on the Last Fan Standing show with Bet Victor, talking about the Glazers, a separate issue entirely that is ever present in Manchester United. Let's hear what he had to say.
Manchester United fans have been protesting the Glazers since 2005. And for those that say we only protest when we're not winning trophies, you're wrong. When we had back-to-back Champions League finals and we were winning the league, remember David Beckham with the green and gold scarf, etc. We've been protesting them since they came here. But what they've done is they've taken 1.5 billion out of the club, 1.5 billion pounds out of the club. That's the same amount City's owners have put into their club and into their infrastructure around the club. We're still in debt of like £500 million or something crazy like that at the moment, which means we're 2 billion out of pocket. The money Manchester United spends is the money Manchester United generates. The Glazers have never put money in. They're the only owners about that take dividends out on a regular basis, and they've been running Manchester United into the ground, whether it's their stadium, their facilities, their training ground, their academy. Whatever it is, you name it, the Glazers have ran it into the ground. And when we won trophies under Sir Alex Ferguson, it was in spite of the Glazers. And now that that is gone and his genius isn't there to cover him up, they're being exposed. And any manager that comes into Manchester United needs structure, needs foundation, and they don't provide that at all.
Thank you there to Adam McCullough and the Last Fan Standing show on Bet Victor. Check out the link for that in the podcast and go over, comment on that, agree with Adam McCullough, because let's be honest, we all do, and say that Stretford Paddock sent you. He's right though, isn't he, that United haven't had the genius of Sir Alex Ferguson to basically cover up the bullshit that the Glazers have been doing for the last 17 years.
Yeah, papering over the cracks of what has crumbled in front of our eyes since Fergie left, which was 10 years ago. Next year we're going to be, not celebrating, mourning how 10 years have flown by and what success have we really had from it. Picked up, a couple of trophies, but not really the big ones, an FA Cup and a European Cup. But we spent a lot of money, but not in the right places. Yeah. And it all comes back to the fact that they don't know where to put the money because their hearts aren't really in the club and their brains are all about their own pockets rather than thinking about us.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, literally couldn't say it any better myself there. Make sure you check out Last Fan Standing. And like I said, go and comment and say how you agree with Adam McCullough. Get your thoughts in the comments there. Let's go back to Antony then, because since we've been live, this has been like the breaking, progressing story.
What's happened? Why didn't we break at half 10?
Let's start this all over again, and we'll go through exactly what's happened in the last few minutes. So Mike Verwey very recently was saying that United have made an offer of above 90 million euros for Antony. The player wants to move within the next 48 hours and has asked the club to cooperate. Antony has also officially asked the club to cooperate with a transfer for Manchester United. Antony's management are apparently already house hunting.
Really?
Sort of slightly running before you can walk there.
Then there are always the rumours though, aren't there, a house hunt?
Yeah.
There are always the rumours.
Well, then we saw Fabrizio Romano sort of counter that, saying there has been no new bid. A new bid is expected, but as of yet, it hasn't happened. Then we saw, literally, 4 minutes ago, David Ornstein tweeting, Manchester United confident of reaching an agreement to sign Antony. 22-year-old Brazil international winger is now the main recruitment focus for Manchester United. The pursuit of the PSV Eindhoven attacker Cody Gakpo believed to have cooled somewhat, which is absolutely massive. Like, it genuinely looks like somewhere in the region of 90 million euros, this deal for Antony is going to get done. Do you think he will be able to, and obviously you don't know him as a person, do you think we've got a system and a setup where he will be able to deal with that ludicrous price tag? Because it is too much money, even if he's a good player.
Yeah, I think the thing with the sort of baptism of fire that Ten Hag has had as Manchester United manager is he'll learn that what he's been through, Ten Hag personally, by being sort of his management skills being pushed to the limits already, that he's going to have to embed Antony in slowly but surely. And he'll know him as a player. So it's not like he's signing an attacker that he's never worked with before. He's worked with him so closely, so well. Such a young talent as well, only 22. He'll know what he needs to get the best out of him. And if that means actually let's give him a full 90-minute run out against Leicester. Let's do it. If it means actually let's go and play 45 minutes against Arsenal in a couple of weeks' time, let's have it. If we get it across the line, I'm confident Ten Hag can get the best out of his players. Because let's actually have a look at what Ten Hag has done this year in terms of the transfer window. They've got all potential to be worldies. Martinez, amazing game against Liverpool. Malacia, so decent, such a young guy.
What, 12 million quid as well?
Could build up into a wonderful player.
High there, is it?
So bring him in. Let's see what he can do. We've got big games. It's coming thick and fast. Bring him on.
There's a lot of people talking about Gakpo in the comments. PSV have just lost to Rangers. And Rangers will be going into the Champions League group stage. And that makes some reference to United because obviously the whole rumour was if PSV made the Champions League, it would therefore be a lot harder to buy Gakpo because they're now of a higher standard. They can afford to keep holding him because the extra money that would generate. Now that they won't be in the Champions League group stages, presumably the Gakpo price tag has just gone down at the exact same time that we've just put in a massive new bid for Antony. And I said it before, I don't necessarily agree, but do you think it's worth buying the slightly cheaper player, saving money for other transfers?
I mean,
let us know in the comments as well, because it is worth
it's the big question,
thinking about that,
we don't have much confidence in our scouts, but I'd like to know what they're looking out for in terms of what we need for an attacker. I think looking at how the system we're going to play at the top, the front three, all of them in pre-season and a little bit against Liverpool like to chop and change where they were playing. And I like to think that all of our three attackers will get on the score sheets now and again. Sancho did, Rashford did. Hopefully if we play Martial will get back to his goal-scoring ways. So we need to know that the player we sign can fit nicely into the attacking three, can move a bit to the left or to the right, could even go down the middle if needed, and also can score goals. Because if our goals are mainly going to come from them three positions, then we need to make sure they can put the ball in the back.
Especially if we're not playing Ronaldo as much.
Because
that's the thing, when Ronaldo plays, and whether it's consciously or subconsciously, I don't know whether he's speaking to Rashford and Sancho and Bruno before the game saying, everything goes through me. Or whether just the aura and the expectation and the history of Ronaldo almost means that players subconsciously try to funnel everything through him. If he's not playing as much this season, it will be down to the wingers and to the number 10 to get those goals and assists. And I think the thing with Antony is, I think, what was it, 10 goals and 12 goals, 10 assists, I think, in all competitions for Ajax last season, which isn't amazing. But he's only been playing in Europe for 2 years. He's not someone, and that can go either way. You can either use that against him and say, we haven't got enough proof that this guy is world class, why are we spending 90 million quid on him? The other side is, he's still got a long way to go in terms of fully developing his game. He's a very young player. He's someone that's improved a hell of a lot in the last 2 or 3 seasons. Under the right manager, in the right system, hopefully can be massively productive. But like you said, the big problem is, you cost 90 million, not just is the pressure for you to perform, there's pressure for you to play. It's not a given that he will start ahead of Rashford and Sancho. If we get the Rashford from 2 years ago back, the 23 goal or 22 goal Rashford, 22 goals, 12 assists, whatever it was, good luck getting him out the team.
Do you know what I can see as well? We can see it already on all the sports channels, on the radio stations and all that. When Maguire and Antony maybe sat on the bench, and we get maybe beat, because we're not going to win every single game. We know that. We get beat by teams. We will get beat by teams in the future. Do you know what we can see? United's bench cost, and it'll be a ridiculous number. Because Maguire was 80, he might be 90 million plus, and they just use little bits of information like that, which is not Antony's fault. This is the market. This is the way United need to buy players. People take the mick out of United a little bit, we know that. But it will be used as ammo for headlines on newspapers, for the radio stations to sort of dig up. It will be their armoury. But it won't be if he arrives in the Premier League, makes his stamp nice and early, and goes, let's have it.
And you know the other thing as well that could help him, and this is a thing that I think is often underplayed when it comes to why United's transfers have failed. Look at Manchester City. Jack Grealish goes there. At the time, it was a Premier League record or equal record.
It was. 100 million.
100 million pounds. He goes there.
Nunez might be up there
has
now.
a sort of bit part role for them. Doesn't really get any goals, doesn't really assist, doesn't make his mark on that team. And yet, because they won the Premier League, because they got, was it the semi-final, the quarter-final of the Champions League? Because they did so well last season, it was almost glossed over. Yes, there was the odd, why isn't Jack Grealish fitting in this team, X, Y and Z? But imagine if Jack Grealish had come to United for 100 million and we had the season we had last year.
Yeah.
Failure, disgrace, off the pitch, he's not taking his football serious. Should he be in Southgate's plans? It all gets blown out of proportion because we're not winning games. If you can have a £90 million player that plays 25 games, 8 goals, 4 assists, not a great season, but a sort of introductory season, you're almost allowed that by social media and by the press if the team itself is doing well. If we won the Europa League this season, finished, strongly in the Premier League, you could almost sort of get away with it and allow him to come through year after year.
Of course.
I think that's one reason why the likes of, maybe Di Maria is a bad example because that may have never worked anyway, but someone like Lukaku, one of the reasons he was never successful at United is because the rest of the team struggled so much that everything was pointed at him. You cost 75 million quid, why aren't you scoring, why aren't you scoring? So if we can play well this season and have a decent finish, I think Antony will be given that time to get into the squad.
Also as well, with the Grealish thing you bring up, which is a great point, there is a forward thinking to Pep Guardiola and what he does.
Yeah.
He isn't just planning for that season, he's got his eye on future seasons.
Yeah.
What we've done recently, Manchester United, is buy old school strikers as short-term fixes.
Yeah.
And they have sort of worked. Ibrahimovic, Cavani, Ronaldo.
Igalo.
None of them.
He's 33, he's still an old striker.
That's true. That's a wild one.
Yeah.
None of them have been a long-term prospect where if they do get it right, and if Ten Hag wants to stay at United, a short-term 34-year-old striker isn't going to help him in the long term. His legacy will be bringing in someone like this, growing them into the squad, and having a young squad of 4 players. Say, imagine 5 players. Imagine if they all get up to an incredible standard. Alanga, Sancho, Martial, Rashford, Antony. Imagine if them 5 who are young, fit, ready for it.
Yeah.
We can swear it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, fucking ready for it. Then he moves forward.
There you go. That's the breaking news coming from David Ornstein that Manchester United are close to reaching an agreement.
Is that his natural hair colour, do you think?
I believe that's dyed. Yeah, he dyes the eyebrows. They should be white, like the top. The Manchester United are close to agreeing a €90 million, should I say, deal for Antony. Again, though that fee is kind of muddled together between reports from Mike, Verwey, Ornstein and Romano, kind of a sort of triumvirate of pieces that you can kind of put together.
Like that sign in Harry Potter.
Good stuff. Tuluisi, I've got that completely wrong, says, watch Gakpo play a while ago, he's brilliant. Here's a point. Can I introduce you into a third option? Option A, we sign Antony. Option B, we just sign Gakpo.
Both.
Option C, Gakpo is now worth probably half what he was an hour and a half ago. Could we now sign them both? Your thoughts?
Is there enough room for both of them?
Right, let me just present you with another fact. Manchester United's current wingers that have scored more than 10 goals in the Premier League, Martial, Rashford.
Right. What's going on here?
We need players that can come in and improve that.
Yeah, we do. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? What I'm saying is we're pretty thin in those areas. Obviously, we've got Sancho as well, but he's not...
Not done it yet?
No.
So...
After that, it's Antony and Garnacho's never played.
If you sign both of them, you're going to upset someone.
Yeah.
You're going to upset Alanga. You're going to upset... Well, because you're going to upset even the new signings who have come to United from PSV and not getting much game time. Let's have a think about that. I don't know if both of it, like in an ideal world, we buy as many players as we possibly can because the team we've got are a bit shite. But it could upset the rhythm of the squad.
But do you mind that though? Do you mind that? Because like my opinion on that is always, if you're a good enough player, you're going to be starting ahead of the new transfers anyway. Like you know, there was a point when United were buying goalies all the time. We got Lee Grant, we got Romero, we got this, but De Gea kept his place the whole time because at that point he was one of the best goalies in the world, and there was never really any doubt in it. If Alanga steps up and gets 20 goals a season, he's going to start ahead of Antony. I think having as many good players in what is, like you said, in Ten Hag's system as well, where he can kind of play without a big number 9. I know he did with Ale, but before that at Ajax, he played with a very fluid front 3.
Yeah.
Having a lot of wingers is pretty crucial in that system, especially when they do so much of the pressing as well. Players need resting, rotating more often. City, and I keep saying this, but City had Mahrez, Grealish, Foden, Sterling, Jesus, and who's the other one? De Bruyne last season. Bernardo Silva. Sorry, not De Bruyne. none of those 6 players were guaranteed to start.
That's
I think they all played 30 games or thereabouts. So maybe it'd be good if United had Rashford, Gakpo, Antony, Sancho, Elanga.
Bring it on.
And at any game, 3 of those 5 will play, but throughout the season, they'll all get 30 appearances. I think that'd be quite good.
Yeah, I do. It's just needing to be reality checked by Brentford and Brighton that have led us to this situation.
Yeah.
And
Where was this
cash? Where was this
ago.
cash before all this? And now have we found the mystery cash out of nowhere and going to splash on 2 attackers? I don't know. I'll be so happy if one of them comes in by the end of the season.
Yeah, I think Antony looks like the one that's... I mean, at this point,
Dubravka.
I'd be surprised if it didn't happen. Triax says 85 million quid plus, I think it's 78 million pounds, 90 million euros.
It depends what day it is. You know, the stock exchange is up and down all the time,
You love your exchange rates, don't you? For a striker who has scored very few goals, is not a smart buy. Buying a cheaper player is not backing the manager. Antony's 30 to 40 million, too much for his goals to date. It's very much we're buying potential here, isn't it? Which I say a lot. Like, most football players don't actually get any better from the age of about 21. Like, they sort of stay the same roughly. Like, the best players keep improving until they're probably 30 or so.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in the middle is some of the other players. But most players, you kind of, like Luke Shaw, we're basically seeing the same player at Luke Shaw that we were 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, give me like an average Premier League, Aaron Lennon didn't really get much better. He just sort of did the same thing throughout his whole career. Arnautovic, same thing his whole career, as speaking of players that United have been linked with. They don't really get better.
Yeah.
They sort of come into a squad, look good, the potential's there, and then they just go straight line.
Yeah.
And that's usually all right because for an average team, that's okay. But with Antony, obviously we're buying someone who they think will improve and will get better as he gets older. So hopefully...
John Lennon, his music got better.
Love that.
Shall we
And then... What?
Shall we talk? That's a Beatles stop, isn't it?
It is actually, yeah. Maybe Gakpo and Antony can
Come together.
come together at the same time.
Oh,
Darren Cox says, get both Antony and Gakpo, PSV out of the Champions League. That might help us get him on a cut price, as we've said.
Yeah, because you also get money for going in the Champions League as well. So
That's
if
what I mean.
if they've relied on that, and then they're like, oh, we're a bit skint now.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. 30 million for Gakpo. Mid-token, Marius says, who cares if the players get upset? Players should always fight for their spot. Competition is only a good thing. That's a good point. I agree. Just get the more, unless you've got 50 top players, but the more good players you can have in the squad, the better. Should we move on a little bit then? There was talk of Gakpo, which we've got prepared here, but basically Ornstein, in that tweet of his, said that United's interest is cooling on Gakpo. So it seems as though we aren't going to be going after both. As much as we might want that as fans, David Ornstein seems to think it will be just Antony, as we are close to reaching an agreement with him. Let's move on to Trapp. Yeah?
Yeah, caught in a trap.
Caught in a trap. United have cooled their interest in Kevin Trapp after Eintracht Frankfurt demand 25 million euros.
Yeah.
Too much. We wanted to pay about 10, apparently.
And it's 25 million euros splashing on that. So what we're saying when we sign Trapp,
Yeah.
or what we're saying when we sign a goalkeeper, is this someone that you believe Ten Hag would look to switch maybe De Gea out for?
It feels like...
Or is it on the bench sort of vibes?
It feels like the rumours that we're seeing are... It's kind of Ten Hag going, David, don't worry.
Yeah.
We're getting someone in his 30s. All the goals we've been linked with. We're getting someone in his 30s. He's not a top goalkeeper.
Nah.
Surely he wouldn't get you out of the squad, eh, David?
Yeah.
And then eventually goes, that
call.
pass was good, Kevin. Lovely passing in training today, David. Kevin, well done. Like that, going up to him after the training. I love the way you claimed it.
Yeah,
you
thank
controlled
you.
your box today, Kevin. Next thing you know, he's starting. I think the idea is that they're bringing someone in that is probably going to be a number 2 to start with, but has the potential to potentially overtake De Gea if De Gea's form continues to be as poor as it was against Brentford.
We've sort of always, goalkeepers have always been interested at United. You mentioned before we took a while to recover from Schmeichel to get to Van der Sar.
Yeah,
Van der Sar
the Bartes era.
Bartes era was interesting.
Bosnich.
We found a nice sort
Taibbi.
of mix.
Huh?
Taibbi, yes. Remind me, did we go straight from Van der Sar to David De Gea? Did we? Because we got off that commentary. There wasn't a year in between, was there, of just chaos? Or did we go straight from... He wasn't amazing at the start.
No, I think it was straight over. It was 2011 that De Gea came in, I think there was that season where it was like half De Gea, half Lindegaard. But I think they literally Van der Sar quit and De Gea took over.
What I'm getting at is if we don't really United go for a keeper that we see as being a long-lasting presence in that net and can do good stuff for us. You know, all the good teams have it. City have it. Liverpool have it. If we're just going to take a punt on Trapp being that guy, are we really seeing him at the future of Manchester United? Do you know what I mean by that? Is Trapp going to be our number one for 3 to 4 years? Who knows? But maybe this is just a short-term fix for when a new one comes available.
Yeah, I think that's what it is, isn't it? It seems as though the reason that this deal is off or looking like it might be off is because we wanted to spend £7 million.
Yeah.
And for that money, you can afford to lose him in 2 years.
Yeah.
But for 25 million, you want a goalie for at least 3-4 years. And he's 32 already. Again, some goalies last till they're 40, like Van der Sar. But again, most goalies, mid-30s, you start to see that decline, don't you? Goalies have got younger, I think. It's weird because outfield players can last longer. Look at that Real Madrid team, Ramos, Modric, Benzema, all those players that just sort of kept playing. And then you look at goalkeepers, felt like these players played to the sort of mid-40s, whereas now the best goalies in the world are all in their 20s.
Yeah.
Because it's more about passing, agility, being a football player than it is.
a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. So worth keeping an eye on, obviously, Kevin Trapp, because he's a good player. Jay was speaking to Konstantin Ekner earlier today. Feels like we're going to throw to a clip there, but we're not. And apparently he was saying that Frankfurt were expecting United to make another bid. They were sort of sat there going,
they're waiting, are they?
So I wonder if this one still isn't exactly dead because there's still potential.
We've got some more breaking news.
We've got some breaking news. Alex Bagley with a phone.
Baggers handed over.
David Ornstein, Manchester United have made an offer to sign Newcastle goalkeeper Martin Dubravka. This is the one that we kind of heard earlier, but it's coming from David Ornstein 1 minute ago. Proposal is to take the 33-year-old Slovakia international on loan as competition for De Gea. No agreement, talks ongoing. Dubravka.
On loan?
On
a
loan.
33-year-old
At 33,
on loan.
thank you very much. At 33, on loan. Newcastle have just replaced Dubravka with Nick Pope, who is decent goalkeeper.
He was looking good against
He's
City.
very good shot stopper. He's a big guy, etc., loads of potential, whatever. Can't pass, whatever. Nick Pope. Dubravka's just been forced out by him. Surely we don't see Dubravka being able to take De Gea's
and get him on loan. It's fascinating, isn't it? What happened behind the scenes with Dean Henderson? There will be something that comes out there, won't there? What happened there? Because you could see his performances at Forest, and he might turn out to be a good keeper.
Isn't he shit? Can we just be honest for a second? Isn't Dubravka shit? I watched him. Was it Liverpool last season where he just basically couldn't stop conceding goals?
I'm spooked.
Dubravka.
We
He's
made some
Newcastle's backup goalie.
decisions.
Newcastle have just replaced him.
Shit.
I don't understand what's going on.
I don't get it.
I know that we all sort of have to talk like,
Bring
David
back
Ornstein
Henderson.
said it must make sense. That's mental, innit?
Yeah.
A 33-year-old Martin Dubravka.
And he's gonna what? He's gonna beat David De Gea for his place this season, and then we sign him next season? Or a 34, 35-year-old Newcastle sign?
So the idea, right?
What's going on?
Let me get this straight. Get Dubravka on loan, replace David De Gea with him, then at the end of the season, replace him and David De Gea with Dean Henderson, who's already at the club.
But why did they make... What happened? Do you think it was a Ten Hag decision to get rid of Henderson?
Dean Henderson. It was a Dean Henderson decision by the sound of it. It sounds like he went, if I'm not playing, I'm going. I honestly don't understand Dubravka. Let's be honest, what is that about? Ethan's pulling his face behind the camera. We gave him his chance, right? You've just replaced him.
With Nick Pope.
He's not that good, therefore.
He's not good.
Do you know what I mean?
He's good.
How good is Dubravka?
He's good, yeah.
Honestly, let's say, who's the best goalie in the world? Alisson?
I'm pretty good.
Courtois. So we don't have to say Liverpool goalie. Let's say Courtois is a 10. What's Dubravka? Say it loud.
6.
A 6.
What's De Gea?
What's De Gea?
A 4.
A 4.
You can fork off.
Can he
He's not
pass?
a 4.
Yeah,
He doesn't fucking know. When's the last time you watched him play? Hey, is he better than Nick Pope?
No.
Right, so we're signing someone that isn't as good as Newcastle's number 1 keeper. We've got ambitions to be better than this.
We aren't.
We should have ambitions to be better than this.
Someone's Balvinda saying that seems like a panic move. AI or Al Williams says 2 Joes and Ethan proper slot fest. Ethan would not be involved in this unless it was literally a Newcastle player we were signing. This isn't some espionage attempt to get a sloppy Joes thing going on here. It's literally, I've watched Dubravka play twice. He's watched him play 100 times.
3 times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, mad. That's mad.
It is mad, but
Martin Dubravka
I
to
don't
take
know what's
Dehe's place.
playing here. I mean, Tom Eaton must be fuming.
Someone made a point here, Daniel Berry, saying just because he's Newcastle's number 2 doesn't mean he isn't better than De Gea. I don't necessarily, obviously that logic, you're right. Just because he's that, doesn't mean he's that. But at the same time, my point is, surely there's someone better available than Martin Dubravka.
Yeah,
Not
and
that,
my opinion is as well, do you know when they were sitting around the table and they were thinking about goalies that might replace a United keeper that has been at the top of the squad for so long, coming up to 10 years now? Oh, Newcastle have got that keeper that's not played for a while.
Oh, Nick Pope. We're not quite
No,
sure.
not Nick Pope, the guy who replaced Nick Pope.
No, the guy who Nick Pope replaced.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. Manchester United have drawn Aston Villa at home in the Carabao Cup. That is some more breaking news. This is one of the most breaking news.
My
packed shows
SKI can clean off
there's
at the start.
There's pretty much 5,000 people watching. Let's get to 2,000 likes. If you're watching, hit the like button. Mad news tonight. United close to reaching an agreement with Ajax for Antony, according to David Ornstein. Man United want Martin Dubravka, Nick Pope's backup, to replace David De Gea on loan. We've got a super chat
On
there.
loan is wild. Why did we loan out? What? It's just mad.
Let me just read the super chat. Read that. There's a green super chat. If you can click on that, please. Thank you very much. United Forever podcast. Thank you very much for being a member for 22 months.
Sorry, I can't see what.
Do you know when those old blokes who look at you when you walk past the car? They just come to the curtain like that. You're one of them,
What,
aren't
when
you?
you go dogging?
Don't touch the Mondeo. One of them.
Is that when you go, dogging?
At Joe Smith, you ever heard of the Dutch techno hack dance? I made a 10 hack vid on our YouTube channel, and you have a star role. Have a chuckle with Ethan and Joe. That sounds
absolutely wild.
Sounds wild. It sounds a little bit terrifying, but it sounds fantastic. I'll make sure I check that out in just a minute. WO15970 with a super chat says, sorry, us in the US are on a delay, I guess. Don't know what you're apologising for. Not sure. We've got another super chat. Go down.
Super chat. Show him all. He loves it.
Jordan, right, cut away from him. He's upsetting me with that. Boys. Jordan Desmond says, what position would you like to see United sign next? Has to be a striker. No. Either a goalkeeper or a right back. WO19570 again says, have a beer, boys. Thank you very much for your super chat.
Is that a question?
Thank you to everyone for your super chats. Honestly, it means a lot. James Garner.
Are you getting upset?
I'm crying.
James
Garner, according to The Athletic, Everton are in discussions to sign the Manchester United midfielder James Garner. The 21-year-old has several Premier League suitors, with Southampton, Leicester and Tottenham all admirers. Garner has been made available for transfer. Sources saying that United are looking for at least £14 million, and Tottenham are taking a look, as well as Southampton, Forest and Everton. Can you make any sense of why we're selling him?
I don't know. I don't know if I'd sell him. I don't know. I don't. You look at someone like Casemiro, right? And if Garner's not going to get any game time, but will learn from one of the best that there's been of recent times. Why would you not keep him and hope that one day he picks up the skills, the technique, the desire from a player like Casemiro? Even look at Eriksen, he knows what he's doing with such experience, and then one day that man might go from a £40 million player to a £140 million player and be world class. If we do leave him out the squad, put him on loan.
Yeah.
Don't sell him for at least 14 million.
I know. That's not really... If it was 40, you could kind of think, right, well, that's sort of halfway to a big transfer or something like that could help. But like 14 million quid, that's what the Glazers take out in pocket money. Do you know what I mean? We don't need that. Personally, I think there are players that could do with getting out of Manchester United long before James Garner. He's 21 years old.
Yeah.
He's never been given a chance in the Premier League. We don't know whether he's good enough. I said this the other day. Andres Pereira played 29 games in a season for United once.
Yeah.
And we knew after game 1 he wasn't good enough. James Garner hasn't been given a chance, was brilliant for Forest. They wanted him back this season. We dawdled, said he wasn't available. They got Dean Henderson on loan instead, so they couldn't sign him on loan as well. I don't understand why we wouldn't give him a chance.
Also, some of the teams that want him, Tottenham, good team.
Yeah.
They're going to push him.
Tottenham are better than us.
I know, miles better. So why did they want him and we just don't?
I don't understand it.
We've fallen off a bit on it.
It is a weird one. Obviously, we'll keep you updated with any further breaking news on that. If we can just go back up to the top and we'll just run through this Antony news one more time. The big news tonight coming from David Ornstein is that Manchester United are confident of reaching an agreement with Ajax to sign Antony. The 22-year-old Brazilian international winger is now the main recruitment focus for Manchester United. Pursuit of PSV Eindhoven attacker Cody Gakpo believed to have now cooled somewhat. This deal is looking very close. David Ornstein saying United are confident of reaching an agreement to sign Antony. I reckon he's going to... I mean, no further information other than that. I think he's going to sign for United.
I think we'll be days away from seeing a live Stretford Paddock video, tops off, mentioning Antony being a United...
So instead of saying breaking news, it'll say tops
off news, being a United player.
Triaxi or Triazi or Triax?
I'll get this one. When we got trashed by Brentford, all the talk was about Hendo was... Oh, fuck, I can't read it. Can you read it? I really can't read it.
Was that Hendo was played well that day when he played for Forest. I watched that game.
Yeah.
He got saved by the goalpost twice. Should have lost the game in my opinion. Good penalty kick save though. That's what it's going to be. You have to understand that as a United fan. Every single time, anything can be used by anyone on social media, anyone in the media, to make United look bad, to try to embarrass United fans, to try to embarrass United fans by proxy of embarrassing the club or the management or whatever. It will be used. So if every time Dean Henderson has a good game, keeps a clean sheet, you will see the full highlights package trawled out in front of you on Twitter. Funnily enough, missing out the times when he was saved by his post and crossbar. Marty Elks says the Premier League and Europa League allow for 5 subs every game. Having 6 forwards leads to the likelihood that 5 of the 6 will play every week. That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah.
That's worth thinking about there because, like you said, all of a sudden, Antony, Rashford, Sancho, Martial, who else? Sorry. Who else we got?
It'd be interesting if that does come off.
Can all play every week.
Because if they all want to really play, then they will be upset by being subbed off.
Yeah.
If you feel like you got a goal in you and at 60 minutes you get subbed off, it will sort of upset some of them.
That's true. It's not the ideal situation. Obviously, they all want to play 90 minutes every week. But I'm pretty sure, a couple of conversations about we need you fit, we need you to stay fit, we can't play every single game.
Yeah.
Surely they'll accept that you need to be subbed every so often. Rick Wales says, up the fucking Slopper army. If you want to check out Sloppy Joe's podcast, Joe, thank you for coming on. Tell us about where people can find you.
Thank you for having me. I have a podcast called the Sloppy Joe's Podcast. Comes out every Tuesday. It'll be wonderful if you go watch it. It's just a bit of a laugh. We have fun. We've got some nice features in there. Joe does it with us as well.
Yeah, it's a great podcast.
A weird Newcastle, weird Geordie lad in the corner.
Yeah, it's check out the Sloppy Joe's podcast. The link is in the chat. Is that right, Ethan? Yeah. If we can pin that as well. Thank you very much, Joe, for coming on.
Oh, I've loved
Manchester United are confident of reaching an agreement with Antony to sign the 22-year-old for a rumoured 90 million euros. Any more breaking news, we will give it to you first. So make sure you hit subscribe, hit the notification bell as well to see exactly when we go live so you don't miss a thing. Check out the link in the comments as well to subscribe to the Sloppy Joe's podcast where you can find Joe McGrath, Joe Smith and Ethan James as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you again, Joe.
See you later, guys. Loved it.
And we'll see you in a bit.